Hey folks, we're back for our 100th episode. 100. I can't do it very well. In any case, thank you for joining us. This is going to be a fun one. We are going to be going over the 10 most interesting things about MeteorJS, things that we find interesting, things that we believe you should probably be interested in too. And if you don't think that our list measures up, then give us some response to that. Put your thoughts about what you think are the most interesting things about MeteorJS into the channel's comments. But before I go on with this, we have not only that to cover, we're going to be covering some other things. And by the way, you might notice here in the chat with us is our old friend Jan Küster. And besides this being the 100th episode, there is another important milestone that we hit. One of the reasons Küster is back with us. So before I go on with that, I want to say you're watching or listening to This Week in MeteorJS, a weekly newscast of the MeteorJS Dispatches podcast. I'm Alim Gafar, streaming to you live from New York City. With us is, well, let's go from the top.
With us is Jan Küster from Germany. Hey guys.
Hey, and
Jan Dvorak from Prague, Czechia. Hello.
All right, and let's get this stuff onto the screen here. Okay, and I'm gonna move some stuff around here because I prefer it like this. What do you guys think? Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. All right. And Storyteller, tell me something about this link that you just did privately here.
Oh no, that was for Jan Küster for something.
Oh, that's for Jan Küster. Okay, all right. So, folks, let's get right to this, which is we're not really covering much in news this week. We're going to go straight into one of the things I said we're going to do. We're gonna not only go over the 10 most interesting things that we have found in MeteorJS, modern MeteorJS, by the way, and really kind of focused on MeteorJS in 2025. But we're also going to hit our favorite episodes that we have encountered, that we produced, that we've made, that we've been part of for this entire journey. And the other reason, by the way, that I was holding on to, that I told you would be a little bit of a surprise, is we have passed our second anniversary running this channel. We started this channel at the end of, 2025? So it was 2023. We started this channel at the end of August in 2023. And we passed that anniversary a couple of weeks ago. But it really didn't feel like celebration if we didn't have Jan Küster with us. And so Jan is back with us today. And we can really fully say, we're at that second anniversary, and we're happy to have it. And on top of it, we're at episode 100. And so, in celebration of that, we're going to look back a bit on the episodes that made us laugh, made us think, made us feel like the work that we're doing is really engaging and important. And so, hopefully, many of you have seen these episodes. If you have not, it's going to be a chance for you to take a look at it and check them out. And with that, do you guys want me to start? How do you want to go with this?
Yeah, let's jump right ahead.
Okay, so the first episode that I want to bring to the table here and talk about, maybe you guys think the same thing too, Jan and Jan, but to me, one of the most important things that we could do for this community, because we really want to grow the community, we really want people to be engaged in it, is finding a way to get people writing MeteorJS code. Now, one of the problems I think that we've run into again and again with the tutorials out there is that they're dated. They don't work. They work with an older version of MeteorJS. And with the move to MeteorJS 3.0, we said bye-bye to fibers and the way we used to handle asynchronous and synchronous behavior, and move to modern async await syntax in JavaScript. And in doing that, it really breaks a lot of the old tutorials that are out there. And many of them weren't working that well in the first place because they were from the one series of MeteorJS. So what's really great is that we had Harry Adele, who's one of the community contributors, been a longtime person, an ambassador in the community. He wrote a new, quick, simple to use tutorial that is a direct contribution to this user base. I find it to be a simple, modern, and very timely tutorial, and I think it's really a great addition to the recent canon of work that's out there. So what do you guys feel that this has a place, or you have a thought on this?
Agreed.
Yeah, I mean, just one thing here. I totally agree also with the thing that growing the user base, and for growing the user base, we need content like that is easy accessible,
Yeah.
because you're always a newcomer out there to some new tech, and when the new tech is not accessible, even if you're a professional developer, you're not buying into it. That's how it is, unless you're forced to use it by your workplace or something. But if you want to buy into the tech, you need accessible and easy to consume content for learning. And I think that's what this series was about.
Yeah, I think it's really good, and I noticed that there was a lot of interest at the very beginning, and people looked at it. It's been tailing off. I really think, and if you're an experienced MeteorJS developer, by the way, it's worth going and looking at. Don't expect it to do everything, because what it is an introduction to building with MeteorJS, and that's exactly the way it should stay. I think what we could do to help Harry out also is by pointing out, like, features that we think that maybe we could see an expansion in terms of more tutorials, or if it hasn't been tested on enough platforms, for instance, Windows, or different versions of Linux or something. Chances are that it's going to work fine, but if you want to help him out in terms of making sure that this is a solid and robust tutorial that is useful to anybody that picks it up, and we know that it's going to have a very small impact in terms of the experience, I think you should go check it out also. So if you haven't seen the episode, I'd say give it a watch. I think it's really worth it. My next ones are, and I think we're just going to stick with each of us really quickly. Well, I'm not going to go through all 10, by the way. I'm just going to give you like 3 or 4 of the ones. And what we're going to have is we're going to have that list, the full list, in the show descriptions on YouTube later on. So you could go and you could take a look at the rest of them. Anyway, my other one is, I got to tell you guys, when I met Laurie, Oyan Sivu, I think is how you pronounce his last name. When I met him for the first time, he is the CEO of Weekend. He is a one-man army that really takes this platform that is used by so many others, and he maintains it, he builds it. He does get help from time to time. He has staff from time to time, but at the end of the day, he's just a really, really amazing guy. And I was really, really thrilled when we first had him on. I had no idea who he was as a person, so it was great to meet him. And I think that's one of the fun things about this channel, is that we get to meet people in the community, bring them on, get to know them, have them share what they're passionate about and what drives them to use MeteorJS. And let me say that we want to find more people like that. People like Laurie are probably some of the most visible and are easily to identify. But I would tell you, engage with us in the comments, engage with us in the chat. Our email is listed, in the description on YouTube, so you can get in touch with us that way. But if you want to come here and be part of this, we would love to have you. Anyway, Laurie, his first episode with us was, it's called Touring Weekend with CEO Laurie Oyan Sivu. And I have to say, it is by far the most popular episode that we have on the channel. Over 2,000 plus people have actually watched it. And he gives some background on Weekend, which I think is one of the most important products built on MeteorJS. And on top of that, the guy is really, really curious about all the different ways that you can use and deploy MeteorJS. And with that, I'm going to add to this not only this episode 16, but the next one that I have with him. And by the way, he's been on the show a few times, but the next episode we had was an episode called Challenges Configuring Raspberry Pi, right? Which is, do we have a slide for that? Is that the next one? Yes, it's called, and on that, it's actually untitled. That's a title for a Challenges Configuring Raspberry Pi on the title, but on the thumbnail, it says, can MeteorJS run on tiny ARM-based computers? The short answer is yes, but not all of them. And part of it is we had Lori come back again. This time I wasn't in the hosting group. I think I was sick, or I had the day off, or I spun out. I'm not quite sure. But it was really fun to be just an observer watching this episode with the Yon brothers running it. And again, he's there, and he has done so many different experiments with MeteorJS, trying to get it to run, especially he's trying to port. You know, the whole point is like, how many different places can we port and run weekend? And one of those that he tried to get it on was with the Raspberry Pi. And he was able to do so with, I think it was version 4 or 5 of the Pi, but he wasn't so successful with earlier versions. Again, 2 really important episodes. If you haven't gotten a chance to watch them, give it a try. I think those are great. And my last one before, I feel like I'm dominating the conversation here, so let me get off this right now. Well, my last one was, and just because of the importance of it, and really the way we helped engage the community understand where Meteor was going, is understanding the MeteorJS roadmap, episode 63. And we had several members from the Meteor software team join us to go through that episode. Not only is it a very popular episode, but it's also one that had high engagement in terms of the amount of time people spent watching the entire episode. So to me, those were the ones. Let's just run back to Lori. Do you guys enjoy having Lori on the show as much as I do?
Yeah, he has always a lot of interesting, as you said, he's trying to run, weekend everywhere. And for me, I kind of wish I had more time so I could help out with some of the technical depth that weekend has, and that I have some expertise in. But it's just, as is usual with technical depth, there are some hidden gaps, so it's not something that I can just jump in for 2 hours here and there. It requires a lot of concentration and focus, and the time which I don't have.
Yeah, and Küster, we've had Lori before. What are your thoughts? I enjoy his energy. I don't know what your thoughts are with.
So I definitely think the contribution is that Lori is very often going through all these steps and processes that I'm personally way too lazy to do, because it's sometimes just annoying chore work, and he's just rushing through that chore work and documenting everything step by step. That's just something I personally can't do, and I realized that in the sessions. So when he was joining the show, and definitely showed me like, oh wait, man, I'm way too lazy to do all that stuff. But yeah, there is one thing, by the way, and this is why I had my favorite episode added there. This is also related a little bit to Wacken, but let me introduce you first the episode. It's on the next slide, and that's the Spotting Meteor in the Wild episode. Not only because it was fun, but also because we actually found that, I don't know, the majority of running applications, I mean, we went through some websites like this buildwith.com and stuff, and we checked these websites, and what kind of Meteor is running there, and the vast majority were Wacken installations. And the other thing was, I think, Rocket Chat, So these were the two most species we found in the wild. And apart from that, we found that many applications that are out there are still running on Meteor 1.
Yeah.
So that was crazy. And I mean, it's like, okay, many will have updated already right now, but there is still a lot of stuff, old stuff out there. And that was an episode that just made me realize, like, hey, look, there's one product or two products, and they were so successful that even I think we had some companies, big companies, running some wagon installation, and
It's. I think that was one of the really interesting things that we discovered as we were doing that episode. What was also fun, I think, was just finding companies we didn't know anything about that had Meteor implementations that were not necessarily Weekend or Weekend. I can never get it right, or Rocket Chat, and I think that was a lot of fun also to see these different types of companies that are out there. So if you're kind of curious to see who's using MeteorJS, how it's being used and so on, I think you should check out that episode. We had a follow-up episode to that, didn't we? About a year later or something like that, where we also did more Meteor in the wild. So yeah, I think both of those are worth taking a look at if you haven't seen them. What else did you have?
Guys, I have a little emergency. So I'm rushing through my slides and then I just have to emergency went off because my wife is still in a traffic jam and I have to get my son from the kindergarten. That's really unfortunate, but that's how things go. So let me check. So why I like this episode is because, like, everybody says, like, vibe coding and it's all that magical bullcrap and you don't know what you're doing. But I think this episode shows that if you're systematically going through these things and you have a plan and you understand what you're doing, then even if you vibe coded your app, I know it was a small app, but it went very well, and the code it produced, there were 2 or 3 times that it was not that correct code, but we corrected it, and it went quite well, I think. And that was some episode that showed me, like, hey, it's always, like, it's not all good or bad, it's in between, and it's how you use these things and what you make out of those things. And this was an episode that showed it to myself.
Yeah,
that this is the case. And the last, you can talk about these slides in a minute because I have to rush. The last slide I added was the memes episode, because this showed me not only it was fun, it was pure fun, but there were so many contributions in the forums about these memes, and that showed me, like, hey, look, you see that there is a community going on. This is something alive. It shows that people are there and are contributing, because this is easy entry. You can posting a meme is like doesn't take much to post a meme. It's not like you're revealing your code and showing everybody, because this is always a little bit critical for some people. But posting a meme is easy. And that showed me, like, look how many people are there. And I think this memes collection is already one of the most read, most viewed forum topics. So
it's still alive, I think, on the forums too. I think people are still contributing to it.
Laurie mostly, but he has also started adding a lot of other JavaScript in general memes. So it's gonna spread a bit out.
Küster, thank you for joining us today. I'm sorry that you have to run so soon, but it's really great seeing you back again. And happy second birthday to all of us, right?
Yeah.
Did he freeze?
I think he's frozen and gone. So
okay.
It happens.
All right. Go ahead.
Yeah, before we go to mine, I just kind of want to quickly go back to this roadmap episode and kind of say I think we are nearing a time where we have to do another one like this, because with Meteor 3.4, a lot of the stuff that was on this roadmap will be fulfilled. I think 3.5 with chain streams will be kind of the end of that. So after that, there will be, I would say, quite a big time for, another roadmap episode and figuring out, and also the team will have to figure out what's next.
Before we move on to that, let's just, if you're enjoying the episode, hit the like button and show us that we're doing what we need to do here. And you know what I realized is I didn't connect myself to the live chat here, so I don't know what's going on and who's out there. Hey guys. Oh, there's quite a bit going on there. Oh my goodness. Alrighty. Okay, I'm gonna have to say hi to everybody in a little bit. I haven't had a chance to say that, but in the chat, thank you guys for joining us again. One thing I want to point out is we are also going to be live during Impact next week. And this point that you make, by the way, maybe if we can reach out to the team at Meteor Software, maybe we can get a preview of the roadmap or some discussion of the roadmap. I think it would be meaningful at Impact to have that discussion. And I know it's a late request, but let's see whether or not that's possible.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Talk more about it probably once we get to the end and Impact reminders.
Sure.
So let's jump into Minds. I'm going into an oldie. This was episode 22, which was about 5 ways MeteorJS helps you win the market. We had Felipe Nevola with us, and it was, I like it, and I think it still holds. And actually, I had a meetup yesterday conversation about Meteor and why it's still, in my opinion, a great match, and why it's still a great technology and how it's improving. So I think these things still hold a lot of values, and I highly recommend it for that reason.
Well, yeah, and having Felipe on, I think, is really great. And he's somebody that we haven't had on for, I think, probably about a year now. So it would be actually great to, see him back again. He's always doing something interesting and innovative, and he has deep insight into the inner workings of MeteorJS. So, good person to have. Also, just a fun person to be around too. All right. So what else do you have here? Oh, I see the hand.
So now we are going into, you could say, a bit more of the spicy things. This one was, pretty much not just like, young Küster, but in everything, because we've recently gotten a lot of, and this is even before AI and vibe coding really came in, but in general, there has been this trend of, as Jan Küster says, enshittification. So this was the episode where kind of went more on that, and it's just, I would say, kind of a general societal problem, but in software, it's very profound, especially every time where there is some sort of rebranding or the company goes public or something like that happens. So that's where we see it. So definitely something I think that will be coming back over and over again, and I think this is kind of dedicated a lot of talk about that over here, so that you can see where we come from.
Yeah, episode 74. What's wrong with software today? So, yeah, I think this is a really important topic. It's pervasive, I think, among a lot of different services that are out there today, and it's frustrating users and developers alike. The other thing I think that this points out too is that there are opportunities if you are, a really thoughtful developer building products that really take into account the end user more than necessarily like your own pocket. I mean, it should be a balance, right? That you could probably stand out. At least that's my belief. It's just there becomes an opportunity when we have such enshittification, people are getting really tired of it, that by just doing the right thing could make you more competitive in the marketplace. I think that's a really important one too. I don't know what your thoughts are in terms of like.
Yeah, that's among things, but I think it kind of also shows deeper societal currents and
Yeah.
other issues. So much more to say. I think we'll have another episode once we have another interesting development in this saga, and I
Right.
think it won't take too long for that to show up
Yeah,
somewhere.
would love to hear other people's thoughts on it. So if you haven't seen it before, it's worth checking out. Get back to us on that one. Yeah. What else do you have?
And finally, or maybe I'll have a bonus one as well related to that. This one is recent, just 3 episodes back, and that's episode 97. Why it's even better to use TypeScript now, and that's primarily because you all have had quite a few hot takes on TypeScript, and we had Kelly Copley, who is our resident TypeScript enthusiast, on as well. So that was a fun episode. And it's kind of also trying to figure out, or one of the topics there was, okay, what should be in the core language, and what should be kind of like an extra.
Right. I remember. Oh my god!
You took a very strong stance that you think that what is TypeScript should be in the core of JavaScript.
Yeah,
so.
I don't know if I'd recommend this one, but actually, I think there was a lot of useful information there. But you have to dial the temperature down on that as you watch it, because I got a little hot, a little too,
It was fun, and also I think it's it was a good how should I say it, opportunity or interesting points to kind of how do we think where should be what should be part of, say, the core APIs, what should be extra, where those things belong, what are the philosophies behind all of that. So that's very I would say very interesting, and it also kind of thematically follows an earlier episode 27 where we can start talking about type-safe JavaScript, which I think that was the first time the proposal to have types in JavaScript itself appeared. So that was,
I think I was a lot cooler in that one, right?
Yeah, well, that was just, we were just kind of, that was kind of like the first mention of this. So it kind of flows, and you will kind of see that, which is also why you should be watching us regularly, because you could see topic, a story evolving, and you will see that on, I would say, a lot of other podcasts that kind of are a bit more free flowing, and there's we don't have no, or at least not that much. We don't have like running gags or joke. I know a podcast where there's a gag with one guest that he stole the spoons, and so on. So that's but we still have these themes that come through, and that's why it's kind of worth it to watch things in the back as well.
By the way, if you guys are watching and you're not sure who that guy is that's talking, that's Storyteller. He put facial hair on because he's in some kind of witness protection program now, and we don't know exactly where he's broadcasting from, even though his background looks very familiar. Right? It could be fake. It could be fake.
Yeah, we'll see. There is.
Is it Storyteller or is it deepfake? Who knows? Who knows? Oh, Jan is back. Hang on, let me add him back to the stream. Yay, Jan! Did you rescue it?
Yeah, I made it all good.
Okay, great. Awesome. Well, we just finished with Storyteller's 3 items. You've seen the list before, so I don't know if you want to weigh in on any of them. Do you have some good memories or interests or anything that these episodes bring to mind for you? Did they show up on your own list?
I definitely know the Filippi episode because I did a short out of this, and it was quite a cool insight on how Meteor is basically Node, and Meteor apps are Node apps, and many people don't realize that immediately. The entitification episode. Come on, what should I say? I don't want to make my episodes favorite episodes, but it's awesome that Jan has this as his favorite episode. it's I don't want to comment on that anymore because it's I could start talking about this. I wrote a DevTO article recently on my latest open source experiences, and we could even talk about open source and certification, but I'm not talking about that right now. And the last one is I barely remember. I think I was in the episode, the TypeScript episode. I was there as a viewer, but I think on that day, I know that I think I was on travel or something. So I was always like, I was there, was out, was there, was out. But maybe you guys just tell me again what. Oh yeah, I get it. Yeah, Alan's hot take on TypeScript was that it was like you were basically saying like, oh, we don't need all that and something like that, right?
Well, I was saying that why do we need this superset? Why is this not part of the language itself?
Yeah,
and now,
true.
yeah, and so like I don't want to rehash that because I can feel it coming back up into me now. It's just like so. Let's back away from that. But the bonus episode that he had here was episode 27 when we had Gabriel Guba back way back. This was a very early episode, and so all three of us were there. To be honest with you, I don't remember a lot of the details of that episode, but I do remember that Gabriel, it's always great to have him with us because he is just so bubbly and so alive. And when he talks about anything, he makes it feel like, we should go along with, with him. He should do a startup one day soon because I think he'll raise so much money, and he'll have everybody coming with him. So it's, if you guys haven't figured it out, by the way, like some of my favorite episodes involve not just us, and the topics that we cover, but the people that come and join us on the episode, because I think it just adds a nice dimension to things. So when I was going through, that's the thing I realized about myself when I was looking at them. It's like, some of the topics are really interesting and so on. But what's a lot of fun is riffing off these topics with other people from the community and getting their feedback and getting their interpretation of things and learning from them. So I think you guys enjoy the same thing too, but I don't know. I'm not going to speak for you, So,
Yep.
Küster, what are your takes? Do you do you have a preference one way or the other, or what are your thoughts there? Küster, your microphone is off.
Yeah, I'm doing the boomer moves here. Oh my god! So I don't have any favorite episode in that sense that it spikes very hard on top of the others. But like these were my 3 favorite episodes. Sure. But because I attended the episodes, it's hard to have the same relation to these episodes as if I'm watching movies and say like, oh, this is my favorite episode from the series, from these movies or something like this. So it's a very subjective experience there when I'm in the episodes.
Totally, and my point was that what I noticed when I looked at the episodes that I seem to have a preference for, I was drawn to, are the ones where we have guests. And being able to have discussions with those guests and hearing their opinions and learning from them and so on. So I don't know if you get the same kind of feeling from it, or or it doesn't really change the equation too much when we're doing stories. Go ahead, storyteller.
Well, as I said, I very much enjoy the episodes with guests, as you said, something more to learn, show the face behind the nickname and all that stuff. So that really plays so nicely with it.
Yeah. So anyway, listen, I mean, this was, I think, a great little rundown here. I have not been watching the chat. Let me pop over here a second and see. I don't know what Bertrand is doing the OMG to. That was at 10:07. What time is it now? I don't even remember.
Might have been to me adding the memes
for
collection.
The memes. Okay, all right. So in any case, If you want to see the full list, we're going to have the rest in the descriptions later on this weekend. We'll get them up. But I want to ask anybody that's watching, anybody that is in the chat, what were your top 3 episodes that you remember or you could think about? Put them in the chat, put them in the comments. Let us know what really kind of got you with the episodes that you've done. And if you're not that familiar with the channel because you haven't watched enough to have 3 episodes that you like, watch 3 of these episodes that we pointed out and see whether or not you feel the same, or go watch the most recent episodes and then give us some feedback. We'd love to hear from you. All right. And with that, I think we're going to go over the top 10 features or improvements to MeteorJS that came out in 2025. So, Jan, storyteller, I think I'm going to turn this over to you because we've got a single slide here, and why don't you just kind of like take us through this, and maybe you could share with us what your thinking is with each of these as we go through.
Yeah, or you can also chime in. So the big thing is that the year started with Meteor version 3.1.1, which was a patch release. And I think there's one big thing that has been kind of consistent through the years. There has been much more attention paid towards the Windows users and fixing things, which accidentally this patch was about. So that's kind of why I put it kind of in there, and also kind of to remind us ourselves that, guys, it's already 2 years really since, or almost 2 years since Meteor 3 came around.
Oh my God.
If you remember, because January we already had version 3.1.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, it's moving faster than I thought. That's a good thing, right? Because we had 4 years where there was like nothing really happening. And now this is great. Yeah. Good reminder. That's a good one. What else do you have?
So next big thing that we had was that roles made it into core. So that I think was Meteor 3.2, if I remember correctly. So that's a big change where we have integration of a major community package,
right?
And it kind of hints at I would say expanding in the future more around the accounts system. I actually have quite a few pull requests in that regards into the core. So stay tuned for Meteor 3.4 as it comes down.
Was that the roles pack, the A-lining roles package,
yes,
or was that a different one?
That was exactly it.
Oh wow! Okay, wow, that's a pretty cool thing. Yeah.
I think the big theme of this year is really that there's a lot of build system improvements. That's kind of what Nacho has been playing around with a lot, making it more modular, improving the speeds, and adding in a lot of the other things, which is my next point as well. The SWC transpiler and minifier added in 3.3. So that's kind of the latest update. And then I have that is also tied into another point, or the last point, that the best is yet to come, because Meteor 3.4 is going to be quite big in this regard, and so that's we'll have the new build system with RSpec and change streams later on, but I'll cover that once we get there. Lim, at least for me, you've been frozen and breaking off. So
yeah, for me too.
Oh no.
My stuff's not frozen, but I hear you guys.
Now it's fine.
That's fine. No, so I was saying, for the people that don't really know, does SWC stand for Speedy Web Compiler? Is that what that is? That's the Rust-based compiler, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So
very cool.
That's in that. This one, I think, Jan, you can tell us a bit more about. Also in 3.2, there was added the Meteor profile command, so which is another option to start an application.
So basically, this is also already, this is one of the commands that is documented in the Meteor. Is it documented or is it not documented?
Yeah, it's very well documented, I would say.
Yeah, you can use the command to get what is it? How live is it? You can get your basically your Meteor app consumption of all the resources being profiled, and this is really important for all those guys that are, for example, in the publication trouble area, because publication subscription are sometimes very resource demanding, and this can get really problematic. So this is definitely a big local helper. Jan, do you know if this relies on the V8, like with the debugger?
Oh, I don't know that much details on so deep. Nacho and the other core team would probably know better.
Yeah, let me check on that.
Yeah. Another thing
Because-
about the profile is that it also has flags that when you're building the application, it tells you exactly how much time
Yeah.
it took to build all the different parts, so that you can then look and kind of try to figure out, okay, what is the problem with this part.
So is
Yeah,
this
because
is this a
Sorry.
runtime profiler also? Like, can you run this while your application is in production and get feedback, or is this only a build time?
Let me
Profiler.
double
So,
check
yeah.
on this. Go ahead.
So the thing is that so what I wanted to say is the thing is you can run this build size, you can bundle size, build time, and I think this whole profiling thing. I just wait. Let me check. Sorry, just let me check if that's.
Okay, I see. It's
Okay, no, I confused it. So it's sorry, that was my bad. This is actually the profiling for your bundling part and the building part, because this is slow on some people, and I was confusing it with the profiling, and that there is a runtime profiling where you use Chrome and the V8 to create a snapshot basically of your runtime. And that's this where you have to run your application, and then you can see like what is during runtime consuming how much resources. But that was never touching all the things of the build system, because for some people, especially when they're relying on CI or if their own build server or things like this can get, for big applications, this can get very demanding. And with this, they can profile the build process itself and the bundling process. And I'm sure this is also helping a lot to see how much the new transpiler and minifier and the new build system is actually improving things comparing to the old build system.
Yep.
That's actually very helpful. Thank you.
No. Sorry for the confusion. I was confused.
It's okay. Well, I mean, this is actually a really useful and important tool also from a build perspective. And what do we have after this?
Yeah, we have Argon 2 support for password hashing for accounts password. That's again another in the topic of the accounts packages.
Okay.
And up till now, there was only bcrypt available. It's still, I think, the default, but don't quote me on that. But now we have also the option you can switch to Argon 2 for password hashing, which is more advanced algorithm. So that will serve us a bit, and it's also very, I would say, painless and super easy migration to it. So that's thing. And I think a few episodes back we had the talk about quantum safe passwords. So that might be some change in the future years as well.
Yeah.
I know you talked about that in a recent episode.
Yeah. Still makes my head spin a little bit. So
Yeah.
There's always a buzzword that has to go around. So maybe this is in the next years, for next year's Meteor Quantum. That's the new release.
Oh Lord,
Meteor 4, Meteor Quantum.
crazy. All right.
Okay.
So that was number 6, right? So what do we have?
Yeah.
7.
Yeah, I think Jan, if you can cover 8 and 9, and I'll come back to 7 and 10.
Yeah.
He's asking you to pick it up right now, Jan.
7. Oh, sorry, 8 and 9.
Okay, yeah, I get it now. So you want me to do 8 before the 7? Okay. So Mongo Get Collection. That's actually one that was demanded since, I don't know, 2014 or something. So when you create a collection and you don't store the reference to it, then it's basically gone. And so you had to explicitly export the collection and import everywhere. And this creates a big, deep coupling. And what you can do here with Mongo Get Collection, you can implement things like a repository pattern where you say, it itself implements this pattern by just accessing the collection by its given name. And before that, you were using the Mongo Collection Instances package from dburls. And we were also continued to maintain it until this got out. And now this very fundamental feature is finally part of the Meteor core now. So you can decouple your instantiation of collections from retrieval and usage and manage lifecycle more efficiently. And then there is Meteor deprecated, and this is some mystical thing because it's in the changelog and it's there. So you can just, in your news releases, you can just enter meteor.deprecated and you will see that it's a function. You will wonder, like, what is that? And I was looking up the code basically in the package. And as far as it seems, it's first of all isomorphic, so it should be on the server and on the client. And it allows you to define basically code that is about to be deprecated. Sounds obvious, but as you know, Meteor becomes bigger and bigger, and it's really important to get deprecation messages as a developer, like, hey, you're using something that is deprecated, and with this command you can also define these things. Plus there is a environment variable where you can say there is also an environment variable Meteor no deprecation to disable these things, although I think this defies a little bit the purpose of all these things. Apart from that, I think this is a crucial part of such a big system to have built-in deprecation support. This is the same thing as we do with the community packages, because that was one of the deal breakers for migration a very long time. People using deprecated packages for so long that they depend on it, and then it's like, oh, but I can't migrate because I'm using these packages XYZ. So, and then people have to tell, or the community has to respond like, yeah, but this package is deprecated since 8 years or something, which is why we have now deprecation support in packages and now also in Meteor core.
Awesome. Okay, so let me pick it up with number 7, and that is Impact is back this year. And I see this as a topic for the future because we still have the rest of the year to finish up. And yeah,
by the way,
Impact is back after 2 years. Go ahead, Alim.
Yeah, I was just going to say that with regard to the episodes that people like, we have a comment in the chat that Fred said that he would vote for the episodes that we had with John Mauro and the episodes that we did as Hot Topics as part of his favorite list. Yeah. Thanks, Fred. I would agree wholeheartedly also. We can't get them all, but, I'm glad to hear, what you also find valuable and useful. Oh wait, and by the way, just on that deprecation, not the deprecation part, but the get collection edition. So we have Jan P. Rounding out the many Jans that we have in our community, mentioning that he didn't realize that this had happened, and it's something that he's looking that he could use. So that's terrific to see over here. I apologize for interrupting you. Please continue.
Yes. So yeah, Impact is back after 2 years of a pause. So that's what I'll be pretty much focusing from after this show till Impact itself, doing the final preparations, presentations for myself and everything. So that's I think quite a central event for the community. And yeah, that's one of, I would say, will be one of the highlights this year for Meteor community. And finally, number 10, the best is yet to come. At least I think for this year, because with release, and I've kind of already hinted at it with Meteor 3.4, we'll have RS pack to add into the mix of in the build system. So that's going to again increase the speed of the build and everything, and kind of with all of that, it's going to make the entire build system more modular. So it will make it much more easier to use, to just plug in Vite and you use that if you want. And I'm kind of looking forward to where it's going to go. I'll probably stick with the official build system, because that's what Nacho is working on and making sure that it's fastest. And kind of going back to the profile command, one of the reasons why they made it so they can make comparisons when they start playing, okay, which build system do you want to use, so they can check out which one is the best when it comes to speed and everything else. So kind of all fits together. And finally, for 3.5, the promise, long-awaited promise, is that we'll get MongoDB chain streams. So that's when we get to 3.5. I'm kind of wondering if it will be by the end of the year or maybe beginning next year. But definitely that's there. And once 3.5 is released, I think the team is going to kind of breathe out and then kind of look, okay, what are the next steps, as we mentioned previously. So that's that. And I had something that I wanted to circle back to when it came to the build system, but I think it's gone. So I'll have to kind of move forward.
Okay, I am in the middle of responding to an email that I got from John Morrow with regard to joining us again on TWIM at some point. So I'm going to invite him to join us next week. We'll see whether or not he's able to. And I think that'll be great. So the best yet to come. Look, I think there were a number of packages that folks like John had put out this year that I would probably go back and pop in here and there. One of the things I would probably have put in the 10 things would have been a repeat of one of our video episodes we had before, which is really Harry Adele's tutorial, right? So seeing more and more tutorials like that, I think would be great. And we had the like much later. So yeah, listen, if you didn't like the channel before, the episode before, like it now. Let's get as many likes as we can on this. And what are we moving forward now? We're going to Meteor News. All right, Jan, why don't you pick that up?
Yeah, it will be, I would say, a relatively short segment because I think the biggest news announcements maybe will be coming up. Let me just quickly skip this ahead. So already mentioned it a lot of times, and we have announcements from Nacho about the 3.4 beta 8 release. So kind of covering all of these, smaller, bundler, faster builds, all of that. So if you want to try it out, beta 8 is out. Hopefully by next week we'll be a bit more further along. Hopefully maybe even in the release candidate stages, but I think this will probably take a bit longer, just because of all the it touches such a core thing about Meteor. So go and check it out. It will also kind of give you an idea if or how you need to migrate. I've encountered some issues, so people are submitting feedback. Again, I recommend create a branch on your project, put that in, try it out, and see what's going to come out of that.
Alrighty.
Yep. Any comments or additions? Something I missed?
Nope, I've got nothing here.
Awesome. So next one, and I think this one is more in the theoretical area. And from this user, we've got you could say a proposal, or he's talking about the future-proofing Meteor DDP with additional extensible transport and serialization architecture. And I think it's a very interesting proposal because he proposes to modernize and upgrade the DDP protocol, which is the communication between the server and the client, to add stringification, because right now it just sends eJSON, and some additional things to kind of look at, including HTTP3 and other things. And specifically HTTP3, I think Note 24, the latest version, added something related to that. So that's also coming to the wider ecosystem as well. So check that out. Also, there's the web transport, a new standard, and I think that's related to HTTP2 as well.
So I wonder if DDP itself is just a protocol, and Meteor currently has this DDP implementation as written with WebSockets and JSON. But from what I understand, and the specs are also there, I think in the Meteor repository somewhere, there must be somewhere is a markdown file about the DDP specification. And from what I understand is that a protocol definition is just a conceptual thing. And so if I have a different connection, like this web transport, for example, that implements that protocol, then it should be somehow work out with this, unless there is some hidden dependency or hidden technical debt to publish, subscribe as a pattern that requires many more things apart from the protocol. So this is something I don't know yet, but I think this is a very good idea, because this is what right now there's always this combination with WebSockets that keeps Meteor in the WebSocket league of applications, and not always is WebSocket maybe the right choice for everything. And I think I personally think this is a good thing. I had one question, actually. I'm talking too much. I think someone already had some initiative on DDP working forward. I don't know if it was Radoslav or if it was Gabriel, or I know that someone was, I think Radoslav worked on something with DDP, this DDP router, and I think he said, like, this is just one step forward in a bigger thing, or this could be a step forward and being thought as a first step in improving the whole DDP architecture.
Yes, there is quite a few things, with race uplog, DDP router, all those things are different kind of approaches how to make the, I could say the uplog is kind of very closely to that, faster, and to move the data faster. So that's an ongoing process. And change streams will be a big part of kind of moving that forward, and we'll kind of see how things move. And I think this might be a significant piece of the puzzle as well. Just as so many things always to optimize. Okay, we have a comment from Fred here regarding Meteor 3.4. He says MeteorJS 3.4 is so big and important that it could be called MeteorJS 4 without the breaking changes. But don't worry, we will keep it as 3.4. So that will be, I think, quite interesting for the future. Okay, next news. This one is a bit. I'm not really entirely sure what to make out of it, but this kind of goes to people who use Flow Router and Iron Router and have issues with subscriptions controller in that, and Polygon would they have kind of released Iron Router that was compatible with Meteor 3. So they have been kind of around this for a lot, and they've kind of worked here, from my understanding, with AI to produce here a document how to kind of fix if you have like an issues, or if you have using or trying to kind of migrate, for example, from Iron to Flow Router, how you can adjust the the controllers to kind of ease your transition and to be, say, backward compatible if necessary. At least that's my understanding. A lot of example code, it seems also to be, and I think it's also said there, has been with Claude, generated with Claude, with the recommendation. So if you are around Flow Router, Iron Router, and dealing with that, definitely check it out. Interesting article. And let's see, what else do I have here. This is from Meteor Community Packages, the Meteor SCSC or 47 SCSS we have a release candidate. Please give it a try. I'm super eager to kind of make the full release and close this chapter.
Especially the people who are still on version 4, because it's breaking, and you should be aware that things are definitely different. But I think the changes are not that big, and we need some responses of people to find out more issues, because with breaking changes there are always these hidden complexities we don't know yet that might arise in your applications.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Is that the news?
Yeah, that is the news. It's very short, I would say, or usual length. I think we'll have much more next week. Speaking of which, Meteor Impact is next week. So if you haven't already, please go in and register. I am actively in touch with people who have some last minute addition to the schedule or to the agenda. So there will be an update probably later today. We should have, I would say, the final changes to the agenda over the weekend latest. So it will be up soon, but I think with exception maybe of one talk and the detailed description for the keynote from Meteor Software, it's already everything there. So check it out, sign up on Luma. It's all on the official website, and I will see you on Thursday. And another reminder, community survey again is still open. Send it to everybody who uses MeteorJS, and so that we can have as many people. I will probably have to shut it out a lot over the weekend as well, so I can get much more, you could say, feedback and have a good talking about the results. Let me just quickly check here how many responses we have, not enough, guys. It's only 1/3 of what I usually get. So please share it so that we can get more. We need at least 100 people to be equivalent to last time. So
I'm just filling it out now, guys. Do the same as I'm doing. Just open that link and fill it out now.
yes, but for you, Jan, not filling it out early, I have to say shame. Shame.
No, it was. It just went by somehow.
Yeah. All righty.
Okay.
By the way, I don't think we had done this or we put a notice up for it, but if you would like to subscribe to the channel, we would love to have you. So just click on the subscribe button, hit the bell to get notification, and that'll get you into the community. All right. Is there anything else we're covering this week, guys? Other than Jan, I see that you're practicing for sleepless nights because you're not going to be shaving. It's
yes. So about that, I've decided to kind of give it a try. Last time I've tried this was 10 years ago. It didn't go well so far. I'm not too happy about it. We'll see if it's any.
you're starting to get the samurai look. You just need a top knot, on the hair. You're getting there.
We'll see. It's a funny thing that right now in Japan the thing is to be clean shaven because this makes you look dangerous, you could say. So yeah, I'll have to kind of. I'm just trying it out. I'll have it by, let's say, maybe I'll keep it a bit longer after Impact, and then I'll see kind of how I like it, what I want to do with it. I kind of want to give it a try because I've only tried it once, so we'll see how this goes, and I'll talk more about it at the let's say the closing of Impact. What are my plans next are, but I will be looking for new opportunities. Let's put it that way.
Sure. So we may. Just because you'll be up for many, many hours, right? We're starting Impact at 2 a.m. New York time, which is, what is that, 8 p.m.?
8 a.m. my
8 a.m.
time.
New York time, yeah. That maybe we will bring the episode in an hour early, start at 8:30 in the morning my time, right? Which would be 2:30 your time?
Yeah, I think we'll have to check where we can fit it into the schedule as well.
Okay, yeah. Let's look around.
That said, since it will be part of Impact,
yes,
the episode will be, inside this conference, so it won't be released immediately, and all of the, I could say, talks from the conference. It will take a few months for them to get released, and that's partially because I want to motivate you to come to the conference as well, and I will then be just slowly dripping it out because I don't want to be like all the other conferences where once they finish, just boom, wall of videos from the recordings of it. That's I don't want that because it's just for me as a YouTuber, as I kind of listen and watch a lot of things on YouTube, it's annoying because it kind of disturbs a lot from my usual content, and also given my time, I don't have time to after a conference to sit for 12 hours and watch everything, and then then I kind of lose it. So I prefer it to kind of be more spread out.
I think that'd be great. All right. With that, if there is no objection, I'm going to say, listen, have a great weekend, folks, and we'll see you next week at Impact. All right. Take care now. Bye.
See you next